Hello my dear students, today we are going to start the next theory of chapter 10, which is speed of efflux, or you can say Torricelli's law, right? So first of all, Torricelli has discovered that the speed of a efflux from an open tank, right? So I am writing over here, Torricelli has discovered that the speed of efflux from an open tank what we have here, we have one container. This is container which is filled with fluid having density rho, right? Here we can see, and one small hole is provided over here. Here we can see one small hole provided over here from which fluid comes out with velocity v1, and here this fluids which is direct in contact with air. So here the atmospheric pressure Pa is applied, and here we can assume from the center of this narrow hole to the bottom the height will be considered as y1, and from the bottom of this container and the top of the fluid, here the height is considered as y2, and the difference between these two height y2 minus y1, which is to be considered as h, from the center of this narrow hole to the top of the liquid, right? So this is what we have. So I am writing over here, consider a tank containing a liquid of density rho with a small hole on its side at height y1, at height y1 from the bottom. Right, the air above the liquid this air, right, air above the liquid whose surface is at height y2 is at pressure P, right? So pressure over here, this fluid is comes out from this narrow hole and the which is direct contact with atmosphere. So that's why atmospheric pressure Pa is applied over here, and here the level of fluid is comes down. That's why here the pressure that we have considered, which is P2, which is equal to what? P, right? Now we have the velocity v1 and v2, and here we have considered 2 points, this point 1 and this is point 2, right? So we can write the velocity for that. So the velocities v1 and v2 are at point 1 and 2 respectively, right? This is very simple, and we can also see from the figure here the velocity of this fluid is v1 and here the velocity of this fluid. Now what will happen if this fluid comes out from this narrow hole, then what will happen, the level or this fluid is also having the velocity in this direction, and that velocity here we have considered as v2, right? Here we have considered velocity as v2, right? Now let's use the equation of continuity. So using equation of continuity for points 1 and 2, now what will be the equation? A1 V1 which is equal to A2 V2, where V1 and V2 are the velocity at point 1 and point 2, and from this equation we can write V2 equal to, in the form of V2, so V2 equal to A1 V1 divided by A2, right? So this is the equation for velocity V2. Now here A2 is the cross sectional area of tank. What is A2? A2 is the cross sectional area of this tank. Here we can see, and A1 is the cross sectional area of the hole. Yes, here it is A1 and A2. So A2 is cross sectional area of tank, and A1 is cross sectional area of hole, right? And here from figure we can see, here the area of this hole is very small compared to the area of container. So here we can write the area A2 which is much greater than A1, right? And hence we know the relationship between area and velocity. If the area is larger, then the velocity of the fluid particles from that point is very low, and if the area is very small, then the velocity of fluid particle at that point is very high. So here A2 is much greater than A1, and hence we can write velocity V2 which is much less than velocity V1. So we can consider this velocity V2. Here the level of this fluid comes down very slowly, right? So velocity V2 is to be considered as approximately, we can consider it as 0, right? So here we have the relation velocity V2 which is approximately 0. Now we are going to apply the Bernoulli's theorem. So using Bernoulli's equation at point 1 and 2. Here we have 2 points, point 1 and point 2, and we are going to apply the Bernoulli's theorem on point 1 and point 2. Now what will be the equation? So the equation will be like P1 plus half rho V1 square plus rho G Y1, right? So at point 1, this here the pressure we will consider here pressure which is atmospheric pressure after this simplification, right? So P1 plus half rho V1 square plus rho G Y1 which is equal to P2 plus half rho V2 square plus rho G Y2, right? Now here we have considered the point 1 over here, and at point 1 we have the atmospheric pressure PA. So here we can consider as P1, which is equal to what? P1, which is equal to atmospheric pressure PA, right? Atmospheric pressure. Now here at this point, at point 2, what we have? P2, which is equal to what? P. P2, which is equal to P. And here we have considered one more thing, velocity V2, which is approximately 0. So velocity V2, which is 0. Now apply this whole term in the Bernoulli's equation, and finally in place of P1, what we will write? P1, which is equal to PA plus half rho V1 square plus rho G Y1, means from this point to bottom level, this height Y1 is to be considered. Now which is equal to what? P2, this term. P2, which is equal to what? P. P plus, here the velocity V2 is 0, so this whole term becomes 0, right? So P plus what we have? Rho G Y2, means this height. Clear? Now after simplification, half rho V square, rho V1 square, which is equal to what? Half rho V1 square, which is equal to P minus PA plus rho G Y2 minus Y1. I have just simplified this equation, so I have this equation finally. Now here, what is Y2 minus V1, Y1? Now Y2 minus Y1, here Y2 minus Y1, which is equal to what? Which is equal to height h. So Y2 minus Y1, which is equal to height h. So finally half rho V1 square equal to P minus PA plus rho G into Y2 minus Y1, which is equal to h. So rho G into h. And finally if we simplify in the form of V1, then the equation will be like V1 equal to under root 2gh plus 2 into P minus PA divided by rho. So this is the equation for velocity V1, means that we required speed of efflux, means here the velocity of this fluid coming out from this narrow hole that we required and that we find in the form of equation, which is equal to V1 equal to under root 2gh plus 2 in bracket P minus PA divided by rho. Right. Now let's consider one special case. One special case. Suppose if P, which is greater than PA, here the pressure P, which is very much greater than this atmospheric pressure PA, then what will happen? Here, if this in this term, if the pressure P, which is very much greater than PA, then what will happen? Then the 2gh term, which is very small compared to this term. I repeating my sentence. If here the value of P is very large compared to this atmospheric pressure, then here this difference is very large, and in that case here the terms 2gh becomes very small. compared to this term, right? So we can neglect that term. So finally, when the P which is greater than PA, then 2GH is neglecting with the value of P minus PA. So finally, if we neglect this term, then what we have? We have V1 which is equal to under root 2 in bracket P minus PA divided by rho. So this will be the special case when this pressure is very large compared to this atmospheric pressure. So hence the speed of efflux determined only by the pressure of container, right? We can see from the equation. And second case, if the tank is open to atmosphere, if the tank is open to atmosphere, then what will happen? Which is very simple. If this tank is open to atmosphere, then what will happen? P which is equal to PA, then P which becomes equal to PA. So in this equation, if I will put P equal to PA, then what will happen? This term becomes 0, right? So what will have? Finally we have, I am repeating, if this P equal to PA, then this term becomes 0, right? And we have only term which is under root of 2GH. So here, if P equal to PA, then finally we have V1 equal to root 2GH, right? And this is the speed of free falling body. This equation is known as torsially low, right? This is also the speed of free falling body, and this equation is known as torsially low, right? So we can consider it as the free falling body. So here we are considering one free falling body. Suppose we have one free falling body which fall freely from at particular point like this. Then at that time, suppose this is height h, and in that case, what is the equation for V1 that we need to find? So here we know then V1 square plus U square. Here we can consider the velocity as V1 square. You can consider as V square also. So V1 square plus U square, which is equal to what? 2as. And here the initial velocity U, which is 0. So V1 square, which is equal to 2 and this body is free falling. That's why here acceleration which is equal to g, and s is the distance, means this height h. So 2gh, and finally we have V1 which is under root 2gh, and that we will get over here in this case in torsially low, right? So this is the equation for free falling body. Keep in mind, here I have considered v1 as a velocity. You can also consider only v. So in case of that, v which is, you will get v which is equal to 2gh. But here the equation for velocity which is same in torsional law as well as in case of free falling body condition, right? So this is the speed of efflux, or you can say torsional law.